had more than a few people ask me recently about some core strengthening exercises for very beginners, as people seem to be putting it, which is great. You've got to start somewhere. So 2 videos today. This first one is standing exercises that are going to not only engage your core throughout, but also work on some shoulder and hip mobility. Those are going to help you when it comes to future exercises for building strength beyond just engaging. The second video is going to be exercises down on the floor. So if you want something a little more challenging, but again, these are very beginner exercises for engaging and beginning to strengthen your core muscles. So let's get started. Start with your feet a good comfortable distance apart. And we're just going to start by raising and lowering our arms. And this helps to engage your core muscles as well as, again, work on that shoulder mobility. To make this move a little easier, you can bend your elbows and limit the shoulder range here. You can also come up onto your toes, and that brings an element of balance into the equation. Another thing that I want to point out, there's a difference as you bring your arm back past your body. You don't want your shoulder to come forward. Instead, as you bring your arm past, bring your whole shoulder blade back and open your chest up. And that's going to engage some of those postural muscles a little more so and help to keep your shoulders back as your posture improves with core exercises. Now that your arms are nice and warmed up, just come into a gentle march. And I like my gentle march to be fairly high. Again, working on some mobility, keeping my hips moving. If this is all you have, nice low march today, that's fine. Start there. This is just where you're starting. If you want to make this more difficult, add your arms and do a little cross crawl here. Again, still moving nice and slow. Controlled motions, because it's more about the core engagement than how far your arms and your hips are moving. So just a few gentle steps. And try and bring your feet back down into the same position on the floor each time. All right. You can shake out your shoulders, move your hips a little bit. This next exercise is just a simple standing twist. So we want the rotation to come from the rib cage rotating as opposed to just the shoulders reaching across the body. So bring your legs just slightly wider than hips width apart. Little bend in your knees. You never want to lock your knees out during any exercise. So a little bend here. And again, rotating from the rib cage moving, not the shoulders reaching. Keep your hips stable and pointing forward. We're just going to turn. It's not a very big motion and only go so far as you're comfortable. And if there's any discomfort at all, just limit the motion. Bring your hand back to wherever it is comfortable for you. I do tend to keep my other hand on my hip, and that just reminds me of where that hip is pointing. If it starts turning with me, I'm going too far. One more exercise today, really simple exercise. I'm going to bring the arms up and overhead and bring your shoulders back. Call this an angel wing. Arms up, shoulders back, come down, a little cactus position. This is what that looks like from the front. Just up, opening and broadening the chest. A few more times here. And obviously this is just a very quick video. Feel free to do these motions as many times as you feel necessary. So 10 is a good solid round number. If 6 is where you need to start out, that's where you start. Thanks for showing up today and carry on.